So we know that initial velocity equal to 0 because this particle starts from rest. Let's say it started its motion somewhere from here. So initial velocity directed to the right, v0 equal to 0. This is a point 0. Why it's moving to the right? Because of acceleration. Initial acceleration is positive. It means it started its motion to the right. It accelerates to the right. And during the first 10 seconds, acceleration is constant. So let's say it was here after 10 seconds. Let's call it point 1. And let's try to find its velocity at this point. Acceleration between these 2 points equal to 2. From graph we can say it's positive 2. It's directed to the right. So first question was find speed at 10 seconds. Basically we should find velocity speed at point 1 because our point 1 is after exactly 10 seconds. And we know this is a motion is constant acceleration, so we can apply this simple equation. v1 equal to v0 plus acceleration times time. v1 equal to initial velocity 0, acceleration between during this interval equal to 2, positive 2, times 10 seconds. So velocity after 10 seconds will be equal to 20 meter per second. Velocity and the speed also, it will be moving to the right. Let's continue. We should find speed at 20 seconds. So pay attention to this graph. What happens between 10 and 15 seconds? We can see that acceleration equal to 0. What does mean acceleration equal to 0? It means velocity is not changing anymore. It's a constant. So after 5 minutes, let's say it will be at point 2. And it's still moving with the same velocity, 20 meter per second, because acceleration is 0. What happens after point 2 or after 15 seconds? From this graph, we see that acceleration becomes negative 3 during this next 5 seconds. What does mean negative 3? It means acceleration will be directed to the left, a equal to minus 3. What does it mean? It means it will start decelerate. Velocity decreases. Velocity decreases. So let's say I'm not sure where it will be after after next 5 seconds. So I will assume that it will be somewhere here. And I'm not sure in what direction it will be moving. So I will assume it will be moving to the right. And let's call it V3. And this V3 is unknown. So let me write equation between points 2 and 3. Basically, V final equal to V initial plus acceleration times time. V3 of course unknown. V2 velocity at point 2 equal to V1, which is 20. And the positive 20 because it was moving to the right. We know it. Acceleration is negative because it's directed to the left. What about time? What is the time interval between point 2 and 3? It's 5 seconds. So from here, 20 minus 15, V3 equal to 5 meter per second, and it's a positive number. It means it will be moving to the right. So it will be moving to the right, and the speed equal to 5 meter per second. So second question, find distance traveled in the first 20 seconds. So at 20 seconds it will be at point 3, as you know. So we can divide this into 3 parts. Let's call it x1. This is a distance between 0 point and the point 1, and let's call x2 between 1 and the 2, and let's call x3 distance between point 2 and the 3. So we know that motion between point 0 and 1 is motion with constant acceleration. So for this case, we can use this equation. x1 equal to v0 times time plus 1 over 2 acceleration times time square. So x1 equal to initial velocity at point 0 is 0. Time is not important anymore, but it's 10 seconds. Plus 1 over 2. Acceleration between 0 and 1 is positive 2 from the graph, and the time is 10 seconds. So x1 will be equal to 100 meters. Now let's come to x2. Motion between point 1 and 2 is motion with constant velocity. It means x2 will be equal to v1 times time, because no acceleration, only velocity, and this velocity is constant. So x2 will be equal to velocity at point 1. We already calculated 20. Time between point 1 and 2 is actually 5 seconds from the graph. So x2 will be equal to, again, 100 meters. Now let's come to the last part, distance between point 2 and 3. Here we know that acceleration again constant but negative. It means we can use this equation. Initial velocity, basically velocity at point 2 times time plus 1 over 2 acceleration times square, because acceleration is constant here. So x3 equal to velocity at point 2 equal to v1, which is 20. Time between 2 and 3, it's 5 seconds again, plus 1 over 2 acceleration here, negative 3. Time is 5 square. So x3 here, 20 times 5 minus 25 times 3 or divide by 2, 62.5 meters. So question was to find total distance. So total distance x1 and 3 basically equal to 100 plus 100 and the last part 62.5. So final answer will be 262.5 meters. This is a distance that it covers in 20 seconds.